Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How you doing today? Today is I didn't check. It's Friday. It is Friday. It doesn't matter what the date is. Uh,
16.
oh, it's the 16th. So if I had not missed any of Vlogmas, today would be Vlogmas Day 16. So we're just gonna pretend that those missing days didn't happen. That's what I've decided I'm doing here. And I'm gonna do this in my comfy recliner because the video I made yesterday sitting in the yarn room was very uncomfortable for me. I'm just going to welcome you to the comfy couch today, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on because I have worked on a couple of things. Um, I did put together, and you're just going to have to bear with me with the reaching and the grabbing and the getting out of screen and all of that because I just got to do the best that I can do while I'm sitting here. Um, you can ask for more than that, right? So what has been going on? I think I'm going to start with the Boggy Creek. Let's see. I have, well, this is what's out, so we'll start with this part. If you don't know what Boggy Creek is, just a real brief. Um, Boggy Creek is a camp in Eustis, Florida for chronically ill kids that Nancy and I and Billy, the crafty Nancy from She's Got Yarn too, and Billy, the crafty Floridian, and I started raising blankets for it because these handmade crocheted knitted blankets the kids get to take home with them. And the camp is fabulous. There are videos listed below. Just check it out. It is such a life-changing experience to see what goes on there. So Nancy's mom had asked her to make a blanket, and that evolved into the three of us reaching out to YouTube for the last 2 years. And we did really, really well last year with 1,090 blankets. And this year we decided let's do 2025 in 2025. So we're hoping for 2,025 blankets. Billy has wanted to step back. She is still collecting squares for specific holidays. So, which I have 5 completed for her, but they're still upstairs, so you can't see them right now. And she is putting them for Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, and Christmas, putting them together into blankets to donate to Boggy Creek. So if you wanted to donate blankets, Billy's are a 6x6-inch square. Then Lynanne stepped in for Billy. Lynanne from Nina's Knots Crochet. I always want to put a next in there, and there is no next. So anyway, Lynanne stepped in Billy's place. But last year, Lynanne had asked for granny squares, just a 5x5 granny square, and she would put them together for people that couldn't afford to, didn't want to, make a whole blanket. If you just send her a couple of squares, well, that blew up with Laura from Mad Memes Crochet and Farming, double duck daring everyone to send in at least 17 squares, and Lynanne ended up with like 5,000 squares. So she did delegate some of those squares out to others of us, and I got a lot of purple squares. We'll get back to that. So then this year also, Juan the Yarn Addict was very adamant about, I want to help, I want to help, I want to help. And with his enthusiasm, we said sure. So now we have 4 as our panel of collectors. And so if you make a blanket 35 to 40 wide, 40 to 50 long, or like a 40 by 40 inch square, and you want to donate to Boggy Creek, you can send the completed blankets to Nancy at She's Got Yarn, or Juan at Juan the Yarn Addict. Their addresses are in the description box below. Billy and Lynanne are also still collecting squares. Billy for the specific holidays, 6x6-inch, and her address is listed. And then Lynanne is collecting bright cheerful squares, decorated squares, but in any colors. But, you know, audiences, kids. Even though there are kids that are, they take them up to 17. So maybe a 17-year-old boy would like a camo blanket versus a lime green. I don't know. Um, but apparently the kids gravitate mostly towards the bright colors. And, you know, these are feel good memorabilia for the children. Uh, so Lynanne sent me home when we delivered the blankets last year in February. We deliver the blankets. We collect them through the end of January. We go live. We try to go every week on Wednesday and do a live and show the blankets that have been received during that week. Um, and so everybody gets to see, and everybody loves seeing the blankets and seeing the donations being made. It's so heartwarming. Uh, the uh, the how everyone is reaching out to help. So then this year we also said, hey, if you're a podcaster and you can design a blanket and you want to design a blanket with a tutorial, we'll pull you up on panel on Wednesday. You can reveal your blanket, and we'll send people. We're creating a playlist. I have the playlist on my channel, and you guys, I want to figure out how to put it in the description boxes, but I can't figure that out. When I've tried to do it, it says you can edit or you can delete, but it doesn't say share the playlist. So I don't know how to share the playlist in the description box. But here on my channel, if you look for my playlists, there is a playlist that is called Boggy Creek Tutorials, and I believe I have 3 of them in there now because Jaxie did one this year, and she did one last year, and Angela, Jaxie from Creations by Jax, and Angela from My Precious Yarnery did one so far this year. She did one last year as well for Christmas, and I need to put that in the playlist too. And I think Jennifer from Cinnamon and Stitches also did one. So I should put hers in there from last year as well. I wasn't going to do last year's, but then the one from Jaxie was the Luck of the Draw square. And you can make individual squares or one big square blanket at 40 by 40. And I specifically put that one in because that blanket is so quick and easy to make. It's just a couple row repeat, and it's just double crochets and window rows. Really quick and easy, and that's why I threw that one in there, because I really enjoy making that. You can crochet while you're watching TV and talking and driving, or you know, being a passenger, I should say, in a car. It's a real easy peasy. So I definitely wanted to throw that in there just for an ease. So if you're looking for a design, there will be the new ones for sure will be in there, and Jaxie's from last year is in there. The Luck of the Draw version. And Nan, are you going to do Luck of the Draw this year? Because we could really use a Boggy Creek edition again. And we miss you. Nan, from Nan's Next Knots. She was the Luck of the Draw queen. That was her thing. And she has been off the radar for a while. So she allowed Jaxie and I to do a Luck of the Draw for Boggy Creek last year, which was really cool. And that's why Jax designed that square blanket versus just the back and forth. Okay, enough of that. So, back to Lynanne collecting the blankets, and she passed some off for me. The purple ones, because that's my favorite color. I did complete this blanket right here. I just completed it this week. So the squares that I had other blankets that I finished a while back, and I hope you can see this, kind of, because I can't stand up and show it to you, but I will insert a picture, because I did take a picture of it laying on the floor. It's not laid out the greatest, because I can't bend over and get to the floor. So I just kind of tossed it out there and then had somebody pick it up for me later. So anyway, this square right here, and I had a bunch of these. And so I thought these need to be in a blanket by themselves. And they also had, yeah, no, no, this was my yarn. So it was these variegateds. And so I had like 21 of them or something. So I decided that I would try to match the colors. So I went with this teal, which I don't know where those, I didn't have much left over. I used one skein. And this is, I think they're all Big Twist. This I don't know because this one came from somebody else. But then I used this Big Twist, I think that was teal. And I used this purple, which is this yarn. Is it? Yeah. This is Impeccable. I had I had a couple of skeins of that. So I used one full skein for sure of the Impeccable. And then I used, this is Slime Green from Big Twist. And I put the squares together and like made squares that were bordered by the other squares. And maybe when we do a Boggy Creek Live, I will show it. But this is, and then I used the dark blue, which is a yarn I got, that Dreamweaver yarn I used to be able to get real cheap. And I used that to do the join. So, that being said, this is what is left of the slime and the teal. So I thought this is going to go into a tumbleweed. So I threw it in here because I still have squares to make. So I also got this one done. And I used the join, and it's like 41 by 41. I used 64 squares. And, excuse me, they are, should have been 5-inch squares, so 8 times 5 is 40, and I ended up with 41. So I think on the next blanket, I'm going to go, instead of 8 by 8, I might go 7 by 7, and then just do a bigger border, because I kind of wish I had a border on it, you know, bigger than just the joining border. But then it's really, really too big, because 40 by 40 is like the, you know, 40 is the biggest width that you're supposed to go. So I hope that they'll just let it slide under. I mean, they'll use the blanket. Even if it's too big, they'll still use it. It just won't go home with the kids. But for the 1 inch, I hope that they use it and let the kids take it home, because I think it's bright and cheery, and I really love it. My granddaughter, Chloe, she's 21. She's like, oh, Grammy, kids will love that blanket. I said, I think so. I hope so. So, this yarn has to get put away now. So then, I had these other squares, as I showed you this one. This one, and it matches a solid square, which is this one. And I have like 15 or 20 or something of these colors. And so I thought, I'm going to add to that and make another whole blanket. So I'm going to set this down on the floor. And I'm going through my stash, and I found this is Big Twist Sapphire. And look at how well that matches. Like, that's pretty good. So I'm going to do some solids to go with this square. Now, I found that I can get like 15 squares out of one skein. Laura got 17. I don't know how she did. But I'm going to put these together. And then she's got the purple, you know, and the variegated in the same square. And then the solid variegated, or the solid purple. So I'm going to do, I found I have this yarn. This is, I love this yarn, Ombre, and this color is called Sea Spray Ombre. And look at this, you guys. It's not as bright, but it is really close. Like the colors are, the colors are the same, and I think if I just intermingle, and so I thought I would do some that look like this, but with the blue. So it will be you know, trimmed in the blue. In that Joann's order I just got, I did get more of this blue, which out of all the colors, that was Chloe's favorite. So I think I'm going to do some of these and then some of these that look like this. And if I need more, and I probably will throw in, this isn't the exact same color, so but it still goes with this. So I think if I need extra, or maybe join with this color, but this is, I have leftover from that previous blanket, and it's almost a full skein. It's looking pretty crappy, but it's still yarn, it still works. I have a couple of these, so I'm really hoping that maybe I can join with this, because I think that would be a fun join color. And I know I have plenty of this, and I have 2 of these and 2 of these, so, or most of these. You know, that's pretty full. So I think we can get it together, and like I said, if I need to throw in some extra purple, I will just blend those in there. And this is Impeccable Lavender. I'm sure they still make an Impeccable in lavender. I don't know what this yarn is, because these squares were given to me, but don't you think that'll look awesome? I think that's fun. So I just have 1 square. That's as far as I got, and I found the yarn, so I was real excited about that. That I had 2 skeins of that, and it was in here. So that goes back in the some of that goes back in the yarn room, and some of it gets to be played with today, because I'm going to do some of that. Let's put those up there. The squares are fun and easy to make, and so I think she did what? Start with the, it's a lot more ends to weave in than what I'm happy with, but I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, that's what happens when you make squares. So that's that. Then I have been working on, and I'm real excited to finally show you, if I can get it out of this. So it's living in this. This is my cat's Meow blanket. Let me get you a picture. This was also the shenanigans of Laura and Jan. Jan from An Alaskan Crafter, and Laura from Mimi's Crochet and Farming. This is, I think it's available on Etsy. It's an Annie's pattern, but I think you can get it on Etsy, less expensive. If you buy it to make the blanket, I think it's cheaper from Etsy, but make sure that you get not just the graph, because the one pattern, it comes with this graph that is mind-boggling to try to follow, and I even blew it up, and I was so confused. But then we found that we didn't download it properly or something, but now we have the written patterns. I am on row 22. So prior to surgery, I started it, frogged it, frogged it. You had to swatch. If you don't swatch, it's not going to be the right size. Everybody's is way different in size. And we were having a field day in Zoom, cussing and swearing. And frogging, lots of frogging that day from everybody, because we couldn't get the sizing right. It is supposed to be made with worsted weight yarn. I am making mine with Lion Brand ice cream, and the for the variegated, and the solid is Lion Brand Pound of Love. And I'll show you the colors in just a second. But if you have not started this, definitely make sure that you get it with the written pattern, because it's a lot easier to say, you know, make 23 stitches in your variegated, make 13 stitches in your than to count all those little boxes. And it became much easier. Then, because everybody was having such a size issue, Shannon from Another Yarn, gotta love her, she said, you know, don't make the whole thing. You don't have to make it the 110 or whatever it is. Why cut off some of that? You've got space. And there's space up here. You don't really have to start on the bottom of the cat. Nobody will know if you know, don't start it for a couple rows up. Well, that's what I did. And now I have not measured it. This is the size it's going to be. Whatever it is. I did get it to swatch. I'm using a 5mm hook. And I did get it to swatch to the right size, but I haven't measured it since I put it on. But prior to surgery, Laura had a really good idea. I started at the bottom. This is the bottom. And I just did one row of the variegated yarn, which happened to mostly be all one color. And then I did not, and I, so I, prior to surgery, I did the one row of variegate, of just as the foundation, without changing color, without driving myself crazy. And then the next row, I started a couple of rows up to where the colors were going to work. That my variegated is the variegated on the picture. So they call it MC for your multicolored yarn. So I'm on the right color at the right time, and it took a couple of rows off, which I don't care. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Shannon, for the permission. So this is what it's looking like. I had 2 rows done when I went in for surgery, and then I didn't work on it. And I had ripped out, I think, 4 rows. I think I got as high as 4 rows when I ripped it out the last time. And now it's really, I sat last night, well, the day before. You know, when you have knee surgery, they send you home on narcotics, and they don't do well for me. I was like in a zombie zone. And there was no way I was working on this for like 5 days. I didn't work on it. And we're supposed to do 4 rows a day. Well, because I pulled it out so many times, I'm way behind. And then I didn't work on it for several days, so I am way, way behind. People are done, and they look great. And they're posting in Jan's Facebook group page, and they're adorable. It will be so cute to have, I think we're going to tell Nancy and Juan to keep them in separate bags so that they know that there's so many of the same ones. That was, excuse me, that was Jan's goal last year when she did the, she challenged to do stained glass. She wanted to see, that they could decorate the cabin, like one cabin in all stained glass. Well, we turned in a lot of stained glass blankets, guys. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and they could probably do, they put, I think, 4 cabins per color. They divide the kids up in color groups, and they probably had enough stained glass to do at least a whole set of cabins in the stained glass colorway. So that was really a cool idea. And I think, I know a lot of people got disgusted with this because the swatching was such an issue. But with Shannon's help, it's not a problem now. If it's not big enough, if it doesn't match the 40, put a border. I mean, that's the whole easy part of it. I think mine is going to be fine. I have a tape measure in here. Let's just check it out and see. Let's see what we come up with. Let's give it a quick go around. I don't know. It's not going to be perfectly, because, I'm on not a flat surface, but let's see. We go to right there. Oh, I'm at like 38 or 38 and a half inches. Excellent. That's perfect. Because, like I said, I can always add a border to make it the 40 by 40 if it doesn't be that big. So that is my cat's Meow blanket. The second day I worked on it, I went through row 9, I think, and then I worked on it last night while we were watching a movie, and I'm on row 22, and it's just not. Now I'm only on still 4 colors, and so far it's not hard. At some point you get to where you're doing the cat's tail, and then you have to have more bobbins. And I hope that doesn't get too confusing. I don't think it should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe at the most. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, at one point you have 8 bobbins. That might be a little bit of a pain in the rear end, but it's going to be worth it. The blankets are going to be adorable, and I think the kids will love them. And I think mine turned out okay. But I like the colors. It's I think it's kind of neutral. Could go boy or girl. So I'm real happy with that. I can't show you the yarn I got yet because it's still upstairs, and it's just, that'll be another day. I have to put it away, and I'm trying to decide how I want to put it away, because I picked out colors to do Boggy Creek blankets with. I mean, that was my whole intention, and some of them, like I want to bag them that way and set them up in my room in that manner, that these are Boggy Creek colors, and I don't have space to do that, so I have to put away other stuff. And I'm not in a position to do that, but I want to maybe clear out some of my bulky yarn and put that, bin that up, or, you know, make something out of it real quick, but that'll leave that pile of yarn in my room for no reason. Oh, that's not good. So, maybe my daughter is going to be here for a couple hours with me on Saturday, tomorrow. Chloe's moving into her dorm, and Roy's going to help her do the move. She needs his vehicle, and so he's going to help her move, and so Amanda's going to come and sit with me, because the doctor said I only needed 24-hour care, you know, like somebody to be there for the first week, and then I should be good to go. But my family says no. They said, no, you're going to fall down the stairs or something. So, okay. So she's going to be here anyway while he's gone. And maybe she can help me figure out a good system and what to do. So that's where we're at with that. And then I can show you the yarn. Maybe we can sit in the recovery room. I have a recliner in the recovery room, just for, we bought it for Roy's knee surgery and my knee surgery, and that's where I've been spending a lot of time. But now I can do the stairs, so we're graduating slowly but surely. So anyway, guys, that's all I really have to show you. Not any more done, because other than the other squares that I did make for the hooker versus hooker that I'm going to send to Billie, I have 5 done. The 6th one, I just haven't had a chance to work on it because I was doing other things, and it's upstairs, so I wasn't bringing that down just for this. I'll video upstairs probably tomorrow. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope I can get this shut off, because it's kind of out of reach. Everything is kind of now in the way, and I have a big mess. And you might bump around a little here while I see if I can get up high enough to get this. So thanks for watching, liking, sharing, and I'm going to pull you forward. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.